I want to turn back to Shadi now. Shadi, you talked a little bit about your work with your medical relief organization, which is helping refugees now around the world. Can you talk a little bit about your work now in real time in terms of the pandemic, which obviously we were already dealing with record numbers of people displaced, forced from their home, but this obviously adds considerable complexity. Shadi, over to you.
Thank you. Allow me to start by a very brief background. I work for UOSSM. That's how we like to call our NGO. It's a union of a group of NGOs based in a dozen of countries, founded by a diaspora doctors. And it's interesting that many of those doctors have been at some point in their lives refugees in a way or in another. Although UOSSM works on providing medical care and relief in conflict areas to those affected by conflict, and in coordination and supported by UN agencies, WHO, states, NGOs, private sectors, individuals, we've been able to offer services to a number of beneficiaries that equals about the Swiss population only in the past decade. The work of UOSSM is mainly relief, but what is interesting, again, to mention another point interesting, that the fact that these doctors, the founders, and the workers belong to different cultures, live in different countries, in a dozen of countries, have allowed to benefit the union, the NGO, to enrich it through intensive and practical cultural exchange. And allow me also to mention that UOSSM considers development in all its relief activities, such as operating hospital by solar energy in one of the most dangerous places in the world in northwest Syria, or training local staff, which been done for the past decade, for many years. And here is the point, empowering women by training them to become community health workers and offering jobs, with too many objectives for the project when we initiated that 3-4 years ago, but that didn't include COVID back then. Overall, we try as well through technical and medical communication between the medical community to build bridges seeking peace, because peace is the way to go back to our communities, to our original communities. Anyway, during the COVID, we've developed together with partners, with the WHO, with Health Cluster, preparedness response plan, and since then we've been working intensively on many fronts. The severe humanitarian needs in one front, as you just mentioned, threat of the virus in the other, ways to protect the medical staff who are first exposed to the danger of the virus, ways to inform and raise information to get the accurate, the right information, and to then communicate it. So we have established facilities, strengthened other facilities, raised awareness. But what is remarkably interesting, what is really interesting, powerful, is the role of the community members, as Mr. High Commissioner just said it, in particular the community health workers that have been trained in the past, not for the purpose of the COVID-19, but in my personal point of view and in this year experience, these women, 600-700, have been the first and the best wall against the virus. They've been our giant mask that protected us, protected the community, gave us a space of time to be better prepared to face this pandemic. These are the people who could raise awareness. These are the people who are trusted by their communities. These are the people who, as Mr. High Commissioner said, and as Dr. Hosseini said, who belong to the community and who have the accurate information, especially after being trained, after receiving the right information. So they spread this information in their communities, in their camps, and they were the first point of response to the suspected cases before it gets confirmed. To end this long speech and these points, which is brief but shows few strong points that we've learned, lesson that we've learned. I need, after listening to everyone here, I feel somehow obliged to admit, to confess that few years in the past, when I found myself becoming a refugee and having no other choices, and it was a difficult choice to even ask for to seek the asylum, I was somehow feeling ashamed. No sense, no logic, but a personal human feeling. Feeling less than the others, the non-refugees, for no reason, but it's again a human feeling. Back then, I had this feeling. Today, after listening to these experiences, to these amazing people from around the world, thank you for putting us together. I certainly can be only proud of this population who proved to me and to everyone in the world who wants to listen that the previous experiences, that the path we've been through, including the crisis, is being used for the advantage of our humanity, of our future, of our children. So thank you all for sharing all this information, for being an example, for inspiring us. Thank you.
My gosh, Shadi, you're inspiring us. Thank you for all of that. And UOSSM is an organization I know that's grown quite a bit recently, with not just in Syria, as you mentioned, but Bangladesh and Yemen as well. And I think we'll carry that image of the giant mask with us from this session this afternoon.